Are you fascinated by large machinery? Does working outside appeal to you? Are you in good physical shape with excellent vision and reflexes? Then you may want to gear up for a career as a heavy equipment operator. Heavy equipment operators use a variety of mobile machines and attachments to excavate, grade, fill, and landscape dirt, concrete, and other surface materials. They also move, load, and unload materials and equipment. Their job titles often reflect the types of machines they operate. A bulldozer operator works with a bulldozer, a grader operator works with a grader. However, one operator may work with several types of equipment. To see how this career operates, we spoke to a heavy equipment operator working in Alberta.
Hi, my name is Josh, and I'm a heavy equipment operator. As a heavy equipment operator, you may be running anywhere from skid steers to small rollers, all the way up to graders, excavators, bulldozers, and all of those jobs have different requirements and tasks involved. Heavy equipment operators are going to work in a wide variety of industries. They may include general contractors, mining, oil and gas, paving companies, demolition companies, even waste management companies need heavy equipment operators. Most of the duties for a heavy equipment operator are maintaining the equipment you are operating, so from greasing the machine at the start or the end of the day, making sure they're all full of oil and fuel and whatever components are part of that equipment are working safely and properly. We're checking for overhead obstructions, underground obstructions. A lot of times if we're doing ground disturbance, we need to know where the electrical lines are, a lot of times water lines. After you have done a pre-inspection, the responsibility is to safely run that piece of equipment. A lot of heavy equipment operating is labor intensive, and surprisingly enough, even in the equipment can be actually very taxing on the body. A lot of bouncing up and down, loud noises, heat. A lot of lifting can happen outside of it. 30 kilograms is easily something that might be a piece of the equipment that's part of the maintenance process. So being fit is another aspect of being a heavy equipment operator. Most of the entry-level equipment operators start in skid steers or something small, and they work their way up into a heavier piece of equipment. You go from there to maybe a foreman, from a foreman, maybe a superintendent, and then all the way up to maybe a project manager. Some of the personal protective equipment you are more likely going to need are safety glasses, hard hat, hearing protection. Sometimes you'll need breathing protection. You're going to need a safety vest, steel-toed boots, and depending on where you're working, you may need some fire retardant clothing as well. Most heavy equipment operators are going to be working outside, so we are affected by weather. When conditions change, sometimes we actually literally have to stop, redo a hazard assessment because that change in weather can create new hazards that didn't exist prior to. And sometimes weather situations are so bad that we have to stop. There are courses you can take for operating various pieces of heavy equipment, and a lot of training happens on the job from various employers and employees that have been in the industry for a while. Some of the required safety training that you may be needing are CSTS, that's construction safety training. You're going to have WHMIS because you need to know what chemicals on site can hurt you and what personal protective equipment may be required. WHMIS stands for Workplace Hazardous Materials Information System. And then another thing is material safety data sheets, so those are a big deal. It's also helpful if you have first aid and ground disturbance training. Seeing what you've built with your hands, that's the most satisfying part. Seeing what you have changed and how that adds value to the people around you.
People in this occupation should be physically fit and have good reflexes. They should work well on a team, be reliable, and be mechanically inclined. If this sounds like you, you might be well equipped for a career as a heavy equipment operator. Dig into the details of this career, including training requirements and salary ranges, by going to the occupational profile on the ALICE website. While you're there, check out some related occupations like surface mining equipment operator, crane and hoisting equipment operator, and logging forestry equipment operators. Explore the possibilities. Go to alice.alberta.ca.